Usually when you're trying to get away from some superpowered entity, it's probably best not to antagonize them further. A lesson that far too few have actually learned, especially in the wake of Accelerator. And with him blasting through the skies, jetting off and following the sister that seems to have been abducted, I can feel that there's going to be serious hell to pay when the coffin finally comes to rest. Still, people going on about level 6, powering up further. How could any of that be actually true? If you actually... someone who can survive a nuke being at level 5, what would a step up from that would need its own classification be? Just more, do you need to confirm via smell? But more people trying to get to level 6, further experimentation required. She has a rather... confined view of necromancy. I don't know about this. What? Some of those things, like Jade Mask, one I've heard of before, but Stone Spheres, Puerto Rico. I don't think that's the qualifier of what they're asking it for. Yeah. The amount of useless knowledge I've maintained is quite high, but not really on a molecular level of the chemical makeup. Also, what's with this pale green glow hovering over the scene? Yeah, this isn't odd at all. Was that a extension of like her ability or something? What the hell was that? Prepared ahead of time. And a fourth. Someone who works predominantly in science and machinery, just completely distrusting the idea of like necromancy, these talismans and spells, pseudo souls. Okay. But the fact that you're... who starts the experiments, like, going along these lines? She's not thinking of the big picture. Where does... the origin point? What does it affect it? Why did it just cut to some kids playing in a fountain? The juxtaposition just oh, so those three. They're somehow connected, even tangentially. But, well dressed. But then you could go down to the water first. But the juxtaposition of the kids playing while also she's being confronted with necromancy and these ideas. Undresstress. I know we've been introduced to characters in the past who have had a penchant for stripping. Okay, that's fairly easy to understand. She didn't even change the temperature side. The idea of being able to pick out an outfit isn't exactly difficult. Of course, being able to overcome legal boundaries like public indecency. Perfect! High score! Is the bag even necessary to be there? Where did they come from? Good hit. What the hell is going on? And because of that, it wasn't safe to continue. And who's this Katsura-looking wannabe? And how long is it going to be before we end up getting shown when they join in with... I've forgotten the anti-skill offshoot. A little broken. Anyone that seems to have broken the law in any kind of respect, they're good test subjects. Has he become any clearer in that? Why is there a barrel? Okay. A good an analogy with the frog biscuits, I guess. And also, going back to right at the beginning where Last Order made some. So you got to keep a fine balance. Otherwise, there'll be ethical implications. You don't want to dwell on that too long. I see. That's unlimited potential. The idea of just strapping on more inputs, more programs. You'll be good. The draw of power is too much for some people to ignore. Would you want a team of people just being easily obtainable, this level 6 power? Ah. This is the bit where she was daggering the floor. Also, why didn't she get a sharing portion? And how those blooms there. The questioning of her own ability in necromancy, what it means. There's probably a lot more behind it than that, because people don't usually go so far just to help out in some small dream. This promise is going to be important going forward for the big climax. I don't think... I mean, she wasn't coughing or anything before. You're an outsider. Keep out of our issues. We can't trust how efficient it will be, or even if it is possible. I mean, going down the right pathways, not rushing things. But as the very idea that it would take a couple of years was that enough to bring it to tears. Is it not? Hundreds of people have risked their lives to obtain it just by going up against Accelerator. That's just to prove themselves with it, really. Let alone striving for level 6. Delete purchase history. What can you buy from Amazon? Amazon in this world? That parfait really is kicking in. And now fully understandable why the time frame was so important. A special message just for us. I see. I mean, usually people don't drown themselves in jelly. So they were all kept in the dark about it. You'd think. Also, a loss of a sister like this would put anyone through a bit of shock. I guess that's one way around it. You don't need to worry about safety precautions if the whole losing your life aspect is taken out of the equation. If there was anyone taking a bit of closer notice, there might be a way to look into a potential illness. And now he's going all in with the idea of necromancy. So what about the original soul? Yep. I see. So this is where she gets integrated with all the wiring, becoming what she is currently. I mean, that was a lot easier than expected. Haven't tried this before, and it's on a very important subject, one that I can't really afford to screw up. Then it will, yeah. Congratulations. However, there's a bit of a catch. I haven't seen him do much of. He took up arms pretty quickly there. Why would he need to come in with such an entourage of guards? Yeah, heartbeat doesn't matter apparently. It seems as though there's a ghost in the machine. That was a bit more. Yeah, that was a bit more force being put into it than what she used before. I mean, you do need a body for that. Any kind of large-scale machinery would have been able to achieve the same result there. Her true colours showing through really quickly. Ah. The one that was, additionally there before So she, played around with it a little? It really opened up new possibilities, however. The actual Harumi is, kind of gone, consumed by this charm. Using her voice, memories, and everything else, destroying any kind of goodwill they had towards the actual person. Well. We kind of know where this is going because, well, she escaped and asked for help, but really backed into a corner how many times? And that distinction between it. And who's to say, even after she puts on the shackles, that the guard's going to be okay? Great. I'm talking about shackles now in the song, meaning even more. Chicken and but yeah, I was going to say, okay, all right. Which one comes first? Which takes precedent? We have to assume that both are likely and also correct outcomes until we observe. The idea of wanting to not only fix everything and end it, but make sure you don't destroy what the person was beforehand. She will. Which end is it going? Be gone for good? Be repaired? Be split from the charm? Oh no. It seems the copying of the data from the sisters is close at hand. The idea that time is running out, you've got to come up with some sort of solution before it's before it's all in vain, is one thing. It really kind of pushes along scientific progress, but at the same time, rushing in too early kind of led us down this mess. People experimenting on themselves, using their own bodies to test. There's no ethical quandaries if I'm using me. We've seen it quite a few times, actually. And now, on top of everything, Schrodinger's cat applies. Is it Harumi? Is it this charm? Is it a mixture of both? Or neither? If it's her, and basically her actions are just being enabled by the coffin, that being not quite dead but dead, then the memories of who she was before all this happened are going to be completely destroyed. If she has been dead the entire time, and this is just a possessed body kind of thing, well, that's also horribly sad, but I think slightly better. At least the person that they were, memories of that hasn't been completely destroyed. The idea of necromancy being able to revive a body with a pseudo-soul, and these souls themselves been put in these charms, and the charms could potentially overwrite a personality and become one of their own. Seems some more research needs to be done into this necromancy lark. But the only thing I think I've learned from this episode is if you're ever feeling stressed, need to take some time off, go to a fountain. There's no real getting away from it. I don't believe there's going to be a cheap, cheerful, happy ending to this arc. Even if everything gets dismantled and reverted, there's still a plethora of corpses left in the wake of this grand experiment. Anti-skilled DA, civilians. Yippee! So I'm going to be filling out a lot of paperwork soon. But if you've enjoyed this episode, consider letting me know. A trip down memory lane, remembering what people once were, is melancholic. But if you want to see more, consider subscribing. You won't miss out. And that is definitely something you want. But for now, give yourselves a bit of rest. I need to collect my thoughts. And I'll see you in the next one. My patrons may be the spirit inhabiting the body, keeping this channel alive. I mean, if that means I need to sacrifice everything to watch more anime, but I don't actually think I'm giving up that much. So, I need to thank Electric Ant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sao, Shuan, Matt, Skirly, Cardboard, Croyville, Ginterman, Jennifer Rojas, Dark Shadow 7899, Jeremiah, Tima, Finesse Kid, and everyone else. I just hope the very essence and heart stays the same. So, an utterly awful YouTube channel.